Welcome to the channel for my UEFA Champions League Round 5 predictions. My name is Andy Finer and my like target for this video is just 100 likes. Like and comment your predictions and your thoughts at the comment section. Without wasting much of your time, let's get into the Round 5 predictions. So to begin the round 5 predictions, the first game is between Sparta Prague versus Atletico Madrid. Looking at the UEFA Champions League phase table, Atletico Madrid is now 23rd on the league table with 6 points out of 4 games. Looking at Sparta Prague, they also have 4 points out of 4 games. And going to this game at Sparta Prague home, I think this is going to be an interesting and a tough game for them. And going to this game, I'm predicting Atletico Madrid to get a 2-1 victory over Sparta Prague. So moving on to the next game is between Slovan Bratislava versus AC Milan. Italian giant AC Milan, who has already won 7 UEFA Champions League. At the moment, looking at their standings, AC Milan at the moment are 10th on the league phase table with 6 points out of 4 games. And looking at Slovan Bratislava, they are also at the bottom last, 36th on the league table with 0 points out of 4 games. And going into this game, Slovan Bratislava versus AC Milan, I'm predicting Italian giant club AC Milan to get a 3-1 victory over Slovan Bratislava. So moving on to the next game is between Manchester City versus Feyenoord. Looking at the standing, at the moment Manchester City have 7 points out of 4 games, and looking at Feyenoord on the league phase table, they are also 21st with 6 points, 1 point difference between Manchester City versus Feyenoord. And going to this game at the Etihad in round 5, I think this is going to be a bounce back since Manchester City lost their last game against Sparta 4-1, and going into this game against Netherlands side, who is also good, and this is going to be a good game. I'm predicting Manchester City to get a 4-1 victory over Feyenoord. Manchester City 4, Feyenoord 1. So moving on to the next game is between Inter Milan versus RB Leipzig. Looking at the standing as it stands in round 4, Inter Milan at the moment are 5th on the league table with 10 points out of 4 games. And looking at RB Leipzig, it shocks me that as it stands in round 4, Leipzig had 0 points and they are now 32 on the league phase table, and this is very shocking. This is going to be a crucial win for Inter Milan. I'm predicting Inter Milan to get a 2-0 win over RB Leipzig. Inter Milan 2, Leipzig 0. So moving on to the 5th game is between Bayern Munich versus PSG. Looking at the league phase table, Bayern Munich at the moment are 17th on the league phase table with 6 points, and PSG at the moment are 25th on the league phase table with 4 points out of 4 games. This is very shocking. Looking at both clubs, Bayern Munich so far have lost 2 games in their last 4 UEFA Champions League games. It is what it is. Looking at this game, Bayern Munich versus PSG. Going to this game, I'm predicting a straight win for Bayern. I'm predicting Bayern Munich 3, PSG 1. So moving on to the next game is between Barcelona versus Brest. Looking at the league phase table at the moment, Brest is now 4th on the league table and Barcelona too is 6th on the league table with 9 points. Brest already have 10 points, which is very shocking. Looking at their standards and looking at this game, Barcelona hosting Brest, this is going to be a crucial game. I'm predicting a game of goals. My prediction for this game, Barcelona 4, Brest 2. So moving on to the next game is between Young Boys versus Atalanta. Atalanta at the moment are 9th on the league phase table with 8 points, and facing Young Boys side, who is also 34th on the league phase table. This is going to be a walkover game for Atalanta. My prediction is Atalanta 2, Young Boys 0. So moving on to the next game is between Bayern Leverkusen versus Salzburg. Going to this game in round 5. Yeah, so looking at the league phase table, Bayern Leverkusen at the moment are 13th on the league phase table with 7 points, facing a Salzburg side who is also 30th on the league phase table with 3 points out of 4 games. Going to this game in round 5, this is going to be a crucial and a very serious game. Going to this game, I'm predicting Bayern Leverkusen to get a 4-1 victory over Salzburg. Bayern Leverkusen 4, Salzburg 1. So moving on to the next game is between Sporting CP versus Arsenal. Looking at the standings, assistants in round 4, Arsenal at the moment are 12th on the league phase table with 7 points. Going to this game to Portugal against a team who is also second on the league phase table with 10 points. Sporting CP this season has been impressive in the UEFA Champions League. In their last game, they beat Manchester City by 4-1, which was a very impressive record. And going into this game against another England top opponent, I think this is going to be a crucial game. I'm predicting Sporting CP to get a 2-1 victory over Arsenal. Arsenal 1, Sporting CP 2. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is between Red Star Belgrade versus Stuttgart. Going into this game, Stuttgart, the German side, at the moment are 27th on the league table, which is Red Star Belgrade, who is also 35th on the league phase table. Going into this game in Belgium, this is going to be a very tough game for Red Star Belgrade, even though both teams are likely not to qualify to the next round. And going into this game, I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. Red Star Belgrade 2, Stuttgart 2. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is between Sturm Graz versus Girona. Looking at the standings at the moment, Sturm Graz so far as it stands in the round 4, they have 0 points out of 4 games, and Girona too so far have 3 points out of 4 games, and this is going to be a tough game. I'm predicting Girona to get a 2-1 victory over Sturm Graz. Girona 2, Sturm Graz 1. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is between Dynamo Zagreb versus Borussia Dortmund. Looking at the standings so far, Borussia Dortmund have 9 points out of 4 games, and looking at Dynamo Zagreb so far also have 7 points out of 4 games. This has been an impressive run for Dynamo Zagreb. They're going to this game to face a Borussia Dortmund, a German tough team. But in the UEFA Champions League, they just lost only 1 game, which was their game against Real Madrid. Even in that game, they got 2 early lead and later on lost the game by 5-2 against Real Madrid. Going to this game, Dynamo Zagreb versus Dortmund. My prediction for this game is a 3-1 victory for Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund 3, Zagreb 1. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is between Liverpool versus Real Madrid. At the moment, looking at the league phase standings, Liverpool is on top of the league with 12 points out of 4 games. They have 100% record and facing the Real Madrid side, who is also 18th on the league phase table. I know you are shocked that Real Madrid, the almighty Real Madrid, stands in 4 games. They have 6 points out of 4 games, which is not Real Madrid like. But into this game at the Anfield in round 5, this is going to be an interesting game. But I'm predicting Liverpool to get a 2-1 victory over Real Madrid. Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 1. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is the Scotland side Celtic versus Club Brugge. Looking at the standings, Celtic at the moment, they have 7 points out of 4 games and facing the Club Brugge side who also have 6 points out of 4 games. This is a mid-table kind of fixture. And going into this game, I'm predicting Celtic to get a 2-2 draw against Club Brugge. My prediction, Celtic 2, Club Brugge 2. Yeah, so moving on to the next game is between AS Monaco versus Portugal side Benfica. Looking at the league phase standing, Monaco at the moment are second on the league phase table with 10 points. And Benfica is also 19th on the league phase table with 6 points out of 4 games. It's going to be a very crucial game for Benfica and Monaco. Going to this game, I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. Monaco 2, Benfica 2. Yes, so moving on to the next game is between Aston Villa versus Juventus. Looking at the standing, Aston Villa at the moment are 8th on the league phase table with 9 points out of 4 games. Looking at Juventus, they are also 11th with 7 points. Going to this game is very crucial for both clubs, and well, Aston Villa in the UEFA Champions League, they've lost only 1 game, which was their last game against a Juventus, who is an Italian giant club. This is going to be a tough game. I'm predicting a 1-0 victory for Aston Villa. Aston Villa 1, Juventus 0. Guys, so moving on to the next game is between PSV versus Shakhtar Donetsk. Going to this game, PSV so far they have 5 points out of 4 games, and going to this game against Shakhtar Donetsk side, who also have 4 points out of 4 games, and they are now 28th on the league phase table. This is going to be an interesting tough game for both clubs. Going to this game, I'm predicting PSV to get a 3-1 victory over Shakhtar Donetsk. PSV 3, Shakhtar Donetsk 1. Yes, so moving on to the next game is between Borussia versus Lyon. Looking at the league phase table, Borussia so far they have 1 point out of their 4 UEFA Champions League games, and looking at Lyon so far, they also have 7 points out of 4 games. And going to this game in round 5, this is going to be a tough game. I'm predicting Lyon to get a 2-1 victory over Borussia. Borussia 1, Lyon 2. Yes, so these are my predictions for the UEFA Champions League round 5 fixtures. Let me know your predictions and your thoughts. I will leave a link to my good friend's channel, Mr. Footballer Loose. Go and check out his prediction video. Till we meet in another video, I'm still your boy Andy Final. Bye bye for now.